So, I already had a video recorded to talk about the Preds getting swept by the Magic and all that fun stuff. And then the D-backs destroyed the Eagles in a 3-game series. So, realistically, my thought process was you gotta redo the video because this is now invalid. Half of this stuff that you just said is invalid. It doesn't make any sense. So, now we're gonna talk about, after two slates, what's going on in MLW. Power rankings don't matter. This is something that I think we've learned at this point in an 18 league, but we'll get right into that. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today on AJ Plays, we're pretty much talking a lot about what is going on with contending teams that we thought at the beginning would not do that well. Just like, let's take a look at it bit by bit. To begin with, it's as simple as the fact that in an 18 league, the power rankings may be fun, like very fun to do. You know, you look at them, you expect them as fans, it's just something for us to do, just to get hyped and excited for the season. However, with 8 teams and so much talent spread across every single team, you gotta think that realistically, these don't matter that much. Likewise, same thing with predictions. You see Grant Miller, Jordan Robles, and like Baranowski, Jimmy Norton, like these are top picks every single season. And these guys have transformed their team that they've gone to in those seasons. Bit by bit, they have just done so well, and like with one single player being drafted, so much can change, not just for a team but for the landscape of the league. Like Grant Miller just gave the Magic their first series win over the Preds of all time. Hell, sweep over the Preds. You look at a team like Robles, who just revived the Mallards completely last season. There's just so much stuff that can change with one single player. So teams that were good last year, sure, they could probably keep up that dominance, but they have tougher opponents now to go up against. There's no automatic sweeps of the Magic anymore. There's no Gators getting dominated. This isn't happening. Every team has one solid MVP candidate. Every single team has that one stud superstar. We're gonna get into why some of these contending teams per se have fallen off, though. We're gotta get into that and explain that further as to why that's become an issue. First off, let's take a look at the teams that have excelled. Diamondbacks, Diamondbacks, Wildcats, and Magic all are top 3 teams, all have a 5-1 record at this point in the league. Every single one of these guys currently has one rookie stud pitcher, Pearson. For the Wildcats, he's actually become a little bit more, he's become more relied on than Nick Saylor. Nick Saylor's kind of stepped away from the mound a little bit, but it's Jackson Pearson now who's become the second pitcher. He's come in relief for Kyle a few times, and he's in 1 games for the Wildcats on the mound. Walgate has been dominant as all hell. He's 4-0 with no earned runs at all this season, just dominating throughout every single game he pitches. And as for Trey Flood, he's also been emerging. He has pitched the same amount of games as Jimmy Norton, and he has a lower ERA than he does. Honestly, Trey Flood for the All-Star game. That's my dead honest opinion. So I'm kind of annoyed as to why like one arm seems like this one's a little bit higher. This one's also on the table. Like I got that arm resting on. There we go. Like you want to be even. There we go. Like that's a pet peeve because I'm watching myself right now and this just looks. It's annoying me that I got one arm that's like one shoulder elevated, the other one's just like no. I've looked at each of the early contenders, the teams that have struggled so far. I'm looking at the Predators, the Mallards, and the Eagles. Mallards are 2-4. Eagles and Preds are both. So 1-5. My bad. These guys, the issue is that they are just losing too many close games. These guys are not having the clutch at bats that they were last year. The offense for the Preds has somewhat disappeared. Same with the Eagles. They no longer have the reliable, Zach Whalen and Daniel Schultz. Hell, the entire Eagles offense went to sleep. Mallards, I'd say, are the only single team that has actually been close in every single series. So for games lost by 2 or less runs, for the Preds and Eagles, it's 3 of their 5 losses. They've lost a fair share of close games. You know what? It's just one timely hit that can come in and just change that for you, like 100%. It can go either way. With one swing of the bat, it can go either way. For the Mallards, though, it's honestly for them, it's unlucky. 4 losses, and all 4 of them were by 2 or less runs. Again, with these guys, not having the timely hits they did last year and losing all these close games, it's just costing them now, and they have, like, all those teams have fallen down to the bottom of the standings. They have the 3 worst records in the league. If I'm going to look at all 3 of those teams right now, the Mallards, Preds, and Eagles, right now, the Mallards are probably in the best spot, and let me tell you why. They are 2-4. They have more wins than the other guys. They have the best chance of bouncing back, honestly, for sure. Jordan Robles is the best wiffle ball player on the planet, okay? Tommy Coughlin still had a fantastic season last year, and you know what? He's batting .238, but he's still doing well enough. I really like Tommy and the way he's been playing. Caden Irwin is actually solid on both sides of the ball. He's become a very underrated two-way piece in the league. Matt Carlington made a crap ton of contact against Pearson and the Wildcats in that last series. Preston Colm, you know what? He just had a rough day for a rookie. That's fine. I personally think the Mallards have a very good core still, and those guys can easily bounce back, win their next two series, and all of a sudden be at 6-6 again. At least 6-6. Those guys should be easy bounce back guys to make the playoffs. As for the Preds and the Eagles, dude, their second pitcher, McGlade for the Preds, Schultz for the Eagles, figure it out. You're hitting. Allen and Crash have been doing the best they could, but the rest of the guys have not been coming in clutch whatsoever. Rudy Ramirez and Blade Walker are not reliable fourth bats. They need Jake Longman and Landon Urgitis. These teams are literally parallel from each other. 1-5, missing the fourth bat. Their depth is invisible right now. Their second pitcher's invisible. They got one guy who's carrying. The Preds and the Eagles have been identical this season. All in all, there is still more than enough time for each and every single team to bounce back. There's 9 games to go for each and every team. You're not going to write any team off with 9 games to go. You definitely can't. So it just comes down to, do those teams have the strength? Do they have the balls? Do they have the determination to get back, fight back, and make a run to contend for real in this 2023 season? There are a lot of question marks surrounding teams like the Preds and the Eagles, and we'll see how it goes. But I think these first few slates, it's safe to say power rankings and early predictions don't mean that much. They don't. As much as they're fun, and I kind of get mad for, I get mad for when things don't make any sense. To have a team that at the time was weaker than the Cobras, Eagles, Preds, and Mallards, all those teams were stronger than the D-backs, but the D-backs are still number 1. So I don't know. Yeah, you could say, oh, they're irrelevant, but at the same time, bro, at the time, I'm right. There's still a lot of time in the season for the bottom feeders right now to bounce back, and who knows, they could give those top teams right now a run for their money. We'll see how it goes. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I want to thank you guys all very much for watching. We are diving right into Slate reaction this Friday between the Preds and the Mallards in the Citizens Bank Park Philly series. That's going to be fun as hell to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm going to see you guys all next time. Peace out, y'all.